That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. From that whack witch Michelle Beadle to a bomb track. Yes.
The fact that I found that track is going to stay. I think I have my permanent the Gridiron Roundup
Yes. That thing
intro.
knocks. That thing knocks. I love it.
All right. This week, I get to start it off this week.
Why did you put the not the Memphis? Oh my gosh, not the Memphis knuckle upside down. That's cold. Okay. Quote from the penthouse to the outhouse. Memphis, and they really did, screwed up their playoff hopes. Mm, mm.
So Tulane comes in to
Beat,
Memphis, Tennessee,
beat them down, basically.
and they just jump all over Memphis.
They beat them down.
And the halftime score is 28-17 at halftime.
35.
Oh, 35-17. Yeah, I mean, just jumped all over Memphis. Memphis made a furious comeback in the fourth quarter, but fell short 38-32. Now I know people like, but Playmaker, Tulane ain't a garbage team. Yeah, I get that.
They're not garbage.
They're not. They're not garbage. They're 4-1 in conference play. Matter of fact, I think I have that slide for you right here. Here the conference standings. They're 4-1. South Florida 4-1. Navy 5-1. North Texas. Shout out to Alex Lacazette, the Bear Man, 4-1. That's his alma mater. East Carolina 4-1, and then you have Memphis 4-2. See, what y'all don't know is the 2 spot. Hold on, why is Memphis 4-2? Because back in October, this happened.
I forgot they lost to UAB.
Exactly. You didn't even think about Memphis playing UAB.
No.
That's how bad it is. You want to know how bad it is? Let me go back to the standings. Where do you see UAB at?
That's the only conference dub. Oh, dub. Wow. Okay.
I don't think they heard you in the cheap seats over at Nashville Stadium.
Okay. I said that the University of Alabama Birmingham's conference record this year is 1-4. The only conference win this year was against Memphis.
So you want to know why I'm sitting here saying that Memphis screwed up themselves? Now this loss has meaning now.
There's a lot of meaning.
Because you couldn't beat Tulane. If you beat Tulane, guess what? You're in a spot that you were in last week. But now this loss back on October 18th can hang over your head for the rest of the season, which is going to keep you out of the playoffs. UAB. Oh yeah, because do you see how many teams is like only has one loss in conference play? Yeah, and all don't play each other. We only got 3 weeks left.
Don't say many of them has only one loss.
Exactly, and we only got 3 weeks, so all of them don't play each other.
Right.
So Memphis, speaking of religion, y'all gonna need some prayers to get back into this.
Oh, that was nicely done, sir.
Because y'all couldn't handle business.
Yeah, that's sad.
So good job. Very good job, Memphis. You screwed your darn self. Just thoroughly screwed yourself.
No pause.
I don't care if you pause it. I don't care if you double pause it, triple pause it, quadruple pause it. I don't pause it at all.
Yeah, you dropped your pants, grabbed your joystick, and you stroked it hard.
You was already one loss in. You knew you was already one loss in. And Tulane came in and said, "Oh, so y'all, so they think y'all gonna be the Group of 5 champion."
That record looks nice. How about if we ruin it? And Tulane did. And congrats to Tulane.
Now, normally Cole Johnson has two picks. I combined the two picks because I feel it is a very great way to just kill one whole conference with one stone.
Oh, Lord. So the Cavs and the Cards both folded at home. The ACC is in music chairs game. Yes, they are.
And all these teams are playing musical chairs.
So that's SMU, Virginia, Duke, Louisville, the U, Pittsburgh, and Georgia Tech.
Now, why is the ACC playing music chairs,
Yes.
Playmaker? Well,
Why?
because that
Why?
happened, Coach Johnson.
So both of them played home games. Both of them were ranked. Both of them were ranked in the top 20. Let's start in Charlottesville.
Hold on. But and we got one
Yes.
more. You got one. Both of them played unranked teams.
And both of them at home played unranked teams. So let's start in Charlottesville, where the Wahoos, I know that's what they locally call them, but the Cavaliers started off slow. Actually had a 3-0 lead, and then Wake Forest woke up, took over, and they pretty much pulverized the Cavaliers the rest of the way. 16-9 was the final score. The game really wasn't that close. And then you have the Louisville game, where this definitely was a case of a school thinking that all they had to do was roll their helmets with the beaks on it onto the field, and
Beep, beep.
Cal would roll on them. But they got rolled on by them, 29-26. The Cavaliers basically coasted their way. They sort of went to sleep the fourth quarter, but matching the field goal that Louisville scored in overtime with a touchdown of theirs, both the Cards and the Cavs took L's. And it's a shame. In Virginia's aspect, I actually figured it was going to come to this. I thought it was going to be a month sooner than it ended up being, because as they say, Virginia is for lovers. Well, you proved once again that Virginia is not for football championship contenders. You had one job, Virginia. It was grooved all the way. I mean, you didn't have to play anybody tough the rest of the year until the ACC championship, but you had to hiccup hard against Wake Forest. Wake Forest, a team where I have to admit they did fight hard, and it took CNI dogs to have to be robbed of a W at home against Georgia Tech. But Wake Forest is not one of great shakes. But Louisville, you're not off the hook. You all had the nerve to act as though you were big dogs, and you had Cal come in. You thought, oh, this will be easy. I mean, Virginia knocked them out. Well, we can knock them out, and you got knocked out. And so now it's almost to the point where you're begging this fool to buy back into the program. Better ingredients, better Papa John's. Yes, this dummy. You want him to actually come back and lift up the spirits of the program. No, no, don't do it. Don't do it, Louisville. Look, you had one job too. All you and Virginia had to do was just win out the rest of the way, and you more than likely would have had to fight off Georgia Tech to play in the ACC championship game. But no, You had to ruin all that too. Well, too bad, so sad for the both of you because you both don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I should do you like Texas. Both of you. No playoffs for you. You both wish to. Suckers.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Here's the musical chairs. Georgia Tech 5-1, UVA 5-1, Pitt 5-1, SMU 5-1, Duke. And yes, Duke is a part of this 4-1. And then Louisville 4-2, Miami 3-2. And the two teams that's caused all this, oh, there goes Wake Forest right there. They're 3-3. Oh, there's Cal. They're 3-3.
3 as well.
And then there's Clemson. Oh Lord.
I told you, Dabo, stop being in the pockets of young players. And look at what it's costing you. This was a gimme year for you, and you screwed it up. You didn't even have to play the U until the ACC championship game, and you screwed it up.
So yes, you want to know why the ACC is in the musical chairs? Because of all this. All this.
Why? All this. Oh Lord.
I said 3 weeks to go, right? There's a lot more turmoil to come in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Why do you all like me saying that? I'm sorry, Ray saying that.
Hey, I use it at appropriate times, okay? I just don't use it just to use it, okay? At least give me that. I come with it at an appropriate time.
Yes, you have.
I don't like everybody else just want to use it because they see you. I use it when it's appropriate.
Oh, this like, oh Lord, no.
And you can't say this is not appropriate to use that on with this.
It was apropos, yes. My gosh. I knew I was going to pay the price for saying that as often as I did. Oh my gosh.
Now, I do have two for this week. And mine is not a criticism.
Yours is not a criticism. Okay. Playoff teams avoided looking ahead. That would be Georgia, Notre Dame, and Bama, and all three of them made statements.
I mean, when he says you can just roll your helmet out on the field, that's not what Georgia, and Notre Dame, and Alabama did Saturday. They just didn't roll their helmets out on the field.
No, they took care of business.
Knowing they had big games coming up. They looked at the opponent. They enchanneled their Bill Belichick. Georgia Bulldogs said, we own the Mississippi State. Notre Dame said, we own the Navy. And Alabama said, we own the LSU.
And that is how Virginia, Louisville, that is how big dogs do it. They see these unranked teams, and actually Navy is pretty decent. But they see these teams that they know they're better than. They go into the field, they mollywop them, and then they go back to their campuses. That's how it's done.
So, yeah. Congratulations to the Bulldogs of Georgia, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and the Crimson Tide of Alabama for showing how it's supposed to be done to those who want to be a part of November football.
Yes.
AKA Virginia and Louisville. That's how it's done.
Yes. That is how it's done.
And if you notice, Mississippi State, not ranked. Navy, despite having a good year, not ranked. LSU and all their troubles, not ranked.
Definitely not ranked.
And then that brings me to this.
Quote, guns up, guns up, guns up. Close quote. Texas Tech shows dominance over that whack school, BYU.
Why is there so much volatility coming out your voice there, sir? I thought you was a fan of BYU.
I am, but they decided to stay in Provo.
Mhm. The tortilla tossing crowd of the Red Raiders enjoyed a great game in Lubbock, Texas, as College Game Day was there for the first time since I don't know when Texas Tech took down number one Texas years ago
That would be 2008. Yes.
by one Michael Crabtree.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a similar performance against BYU in their newly white snowed uniforms, thanks to Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes for getting back to his alma mater in a very fashionable way. 29-7. I watched this game and it was like BYU is lost on offense.
And that
Defense,
has not been the case with them all year.
defense, they kept them in the game as long as they could. And then all of a sudden, them body blows starting to hurt BYU. They starting to hurt.
Well, I mean that's what happens when you're physical. You lean on the opponent hard enough, the body starts to go, and that's what happened defensively for BYU. They held on and held on, but offense couldn't do jack. Couldn't help them out at all.
So Texas Tech showed out in a spotlight. Not a primetime spotlight, but in a spotlight because that was the college game day site. And it was right after college game day, 12 noon. Man, that was a great ass whooping Texas Tech put out there.
Pissing me off, BYU.
Now they have the inside track to get to Arlington, Texas for the Big 12 championship if they can continue on this track.
Well, we might see this game again.
Yep, we might see this game again because BRU, that's their first loss of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Not even their first conference loss, their first loss of the
First
entire
loss
season.
alone. Yeah, first loss. Period. Yeah.
But don't play around too much because Cincinnati's right there, 5-1.
Yeah.
Houston, 5-2. Utah, 4-2. Arizona State, 4-2. Can BRU pick himself up off the mat after this ass whooping? Which brings us to the standings.
Mm-hmm.
TCU, you had your chance and you just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
No, but that's fine. That's wonderful.
Just
That
couldn't do
is beautiful, and that's why I love Dallas.
it. Just couldn't make it happen.
I told you, Playmaker. TCU does not deserve that prosperity because they play in a city, or I'm sorry, they play in an area where they need to disappoint their fans every single time they set foot on a field.
We already talked about Memphis. We talked about Virginia.
Good job, Iowa State. I'm proud of you.
And we just got done talking about BYU. So
And BYU, you all suck.
for those of you who don't know, he picked BYU to win the Big 12, and that took a shot.
Yeah, it took a shot. Oh, and speaking of taking a shot, shout out to you, Dion. I hope everything's good with you.
Which means Coach John still has a 2-game lead on me. We have picked 110 games, and you are in the 70s in wins.
Yes.
You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you. I am. You're almost there.
Oh, trust me, I'll get there.
I know you will.
So, that's it for this edition of the Gridiron Roundup.